I've got Ziva out, and her and her brother Tony have come in for our 2-weekend house training. We like to put a little bit on tape on day one to show you where they started off at. Powerful dogs. I mean, they're big dogs and they're pullers, and that's, the nature of the breed. So we've got to fix some of that as far as that goes. That is one of your big complaints. I've been trying to get her to sit for a little bit, and I'm not sure if she's just not paying attention or that she just doesn't know what the command means. Hey, Ziva. Ziva. Huh. And a lot of times when you have two dogs, it's kind of in the realm of possibilities that maybe you're trying to give commands and both dogs don't understand what the commands are. Or if one does it, the other one just does it automatically and they don't actually know what it means. So we're going to work these guys individually for the next 2 weeks. So that'll give me an idea on maybe where they're at and what they know. All right, come here, sweetheart. Yeah, I know. You're a good treat taker. You just aren't a good sit. Good sit. I'm going to get there. You're not as stubborn as me. Come on, let's go. Good. Good. Hey, Ziva. Ziva. Good. Got a little power steering on. We're going to work on this, on this going out and not paying attention. When I call her name, she's not looking at me. So there's a few key things missing. I call it gaps. When it's an older dog, I call it gaps. We learned that 2 + 2 is 4, but sometimes if we skip that phase, then when we get to 2 × 2, it gets a little tougher, and even tougher when we do 2 divided by 2. So, there's steps, there's gaps. And so I think maybe Miss Ziva's missing some gaps. Well, thank you for sitting. And I didn't even reward you. Here, you want a treat? Good job. So we're going to work on those gaps with her, but I'm going to put her up today and get Tony out, and we'll see what he knows. Okay, so it's been a week, and I've got Ziva back out, and we're going to show you where she's at. The thing with 2 dogs, and you asked about gaps, and the thing with 2 dogs, there's a couple different things, but with older dogs, I always say it's kind of like, and I may have said this on day 1, but it's kind of like when you have math skills and you miss a skill, one of the primary skills, like 2 + 2 is 4, when you get to multiplication and division, that becomes much tougher. So it's kind of like that. Most dogs know a little bit of everything when they're this age. They know what to do. They know what they're supposed to do. Do they always do it? No, but that's just kids in general. They know what they're supposed to do, but they don't always do it. So the thing I know is about gaps is like, I was saying the main one was the gates, hey, Ziva, sit. Just like that. I was talking, but she got up and moved. Now that's a distraction, and I don't work a lot of distractions until week 2. So maybe it's just that she's not to that point yet, but I think she's a little older and she should know that she's supposed to sit and stay and wait. Because if you meet somebody out in the neighborhood and you want to stop and talk to them, you don't want the dogs over visiting and knocking them over and doing stuff like that. You want them to sit there patiently while you catch up on things. So, that's part of the gaps that I'm talking about. It's very simple and very easy, but those gaps can become harder. And then you mentioned both dogs together, and I haven't even gotten them out together. And here's the reasoning why. Each dog is their own individual. I am totally different than the next person at work or my husband or anybody else. I have my own personality and my own traits, and those things don't add up to what the other person or other people are. I'm not exactly the same as somebody else. And dogs are the same way. They have a lot of different personality, even though they're in the same home and they should follow the same rules. Ziva, for instance, is sitting here. I would not do this with Tony yet. And the reason being is Tony doesn't always respect sit. I know he knows what it means, but he doesn't always do it. And if I correct Tony for not sitting and Ziva sees that correction, she's going to stop sitting because she knows what she's supposed to do. So that's another thing. That's another part, And so when people have 2 dogs and they do a lot together, I say, well, training is only 2 houses down and 2 houses back. So take them out. Do a little bit of training. Get yourself out in the neighborhood and go a couple of houses down and back with each dog. Then go for a walk. Go that 10 miles you like to go or 5 miles you like to go or however. Then go for the walk. You've already gotten a chance to do those basics as far as that goes. And we want to make sure that they understand that even though they're going for a walk together, that those basics still apply. So today Ziva wasn't doing sits and stays, so we may need to work on that, okay? I know. I see. There's some kind of loose dog over there, so that's going to be an interesting distraction that I'm not used to when I'm videotaping dogs. So please bear with me and Ziva as well. Hey, you want to go? Come on, let's go this way. We're going to go this way. I don't normally do that, but all right. Come here. Here. Sit. And yes, even though I'm in the country and not in town, I get loose dogs. Sit. Stay. That's a basic stay with no distractions. I wasn't talking. Unfortunately, I have a dog I can't do anything about. Hey, good girl. Okay means she can get up. Good, that was a very good one. Okay, pulling was your biggest complaint. We have a little bit of new hardware. Sit, Ziva. I know hey, good, sit. Good job. No, good, ready? Let's go. So we're gonna go for a nice calm walk. This is what I mean about doing separately though, because if I had both of them and I was trying to correct both, I'd be pulling back on both dogs. But maybe one's walking right beside me. Ziva, sit. Hey, sit. Good. Good girl. So then I'd be correcting both dogs and one of them was already doing what they were supposed to do. Now when I go for walks, I expect my dogs to sit. When I stop, another one of these is this is another consideration, but when you stop at street corners. You stop to talk to people. You stop to observe something that's going on. You need the dogs to automatically know that they're supposed to sit. She's not going to let that dog get away without taking a look at it. So we may have to do our stays from a different direction. Stay. Again, all the way back. Good girl. Okay. And this is something she has really improved on in week 1. She really wanted to get up. We're also going to do some testing like good dog. Do they know to still stay there even if they're getting praise or attention work? Attention words like good. Good means keep doing what you're doing until you get that release. Okay. Sit. Good. Good girl. And see how she's doing? Much better. Not jumping on me for saying good. Good girl. Huh? No. Good. Learning to accept praise without jumping all over me. Now Ziva's a great comer. She loves to play come. Tony, not so much. He's like, if I have to. Ready? Get it. Whoops. Ziva, come. Did you get it? Did you find it? There it is. Good. Come. Hurry. Sit. I think you ate it and then you looked for more. Get it. Good. Come. Yes. Get it. Good. It's right behind the rock. Don't eat the rock. Come. Good. Get it. You ate it. Ziva, come. Sit. Sit. Good. Good girl. Good girl. And I noticed on the first day I started doing these games that she wanted to pull out of the leash, which was fine because it's all enclosed out here so I can drop it and let her go. But the first couple of days she came in and jumped on me, which is another big thing with her. She's a jumper and a leaner. And so we've been working on it. And notice it's a has to sit. Ziva, sit. Good. It's a has to sit. They have to come back and sit, especially if you have two big dogs like you do. They come barreling in and not paying attention. You're going to go down, and you don't need to have that happen. So, you know, if they come flying up at you, they should learn to give a respectful distance and sit. I tell people I have a bubble, and the dogs have to sit outside of my bubble. I can call them in closer once they calm down and sit, but that way they can't jump on me and they can't knock me over. So overall, she's doing really well. You know, today was actually an awesome day, especially with the distraction I have outside the fence line. So, but we're going to put her up and we'll get Tony out and see how he's doing today. Good girl.